Hey guys, Mizuki here. Today we're talking about the absolute train wreck, that is, the Western entertainment industry. Yes, I know, shocking revelation, right? Who could have possibly seen this coming? It's not like we've been watching it crumble into a soulless, agenda-pushing dumpster fire for the past few years or anything. But here we are, Hollywood, gaming, TV, poof, gone are the days of passionate storytelling, compelling characters, and dare I say, fun. Instead, we get production after production that looks like a group project where nobody cared but the one guy who just really wanted an A for diversity points. Creativity? That. Innovation. Buried. Entertainment, replaced by a half-handed lecture on why you should feel guilty for existing. It's like every studio sat down and decided, hey, let's make something nobody wants to watch. Then you show them. Buck. And with one flop after another, these corporations have been hemorrhaging money like a guy trying to impress his date at a casino. Studios are closing, beloved franchises are being abandoned, and legendary characters we grew up idolizing completely butchered in the name of modernization. It's like watching some mom replace your entire childhood dog with a weird animatronic nightmare that lectures you about privilege. No one asked for this. Meanwhile, while the West is busy shooting itself in the foot with a bazooka, the East is out here is styling on us like an enemy protagonist in the final battle. The entertainment industries in Japan, Korea, and China, skyrocketing, my dear viewer, dominating, eating good while we starve. And why, you might be asking yourself right now, my dear viewer? Because they're actually making things people want to watch and play. What a revolutionary concept, right? Mizuki is here once more to explain to you guys that the grass is green and not purple. See, here is the secret sauce that Western companies seem to have thrown in the trash. Give the audience what the hell they want. If you don't, someone else will. And that's exactly what is happening. Japan, Korea, and China have been producing absolute bangers. Games, animes, movies, dramas, while the Western media keeps doubling down on the same insufferable formula that nobody likes. The result? The East is out here printing money, while Hollywood is still trying to figure out why nobody wants to see yet another reboot with a modern twist. Just look at the numbers, my dear viewers. Games like Black Myth Wukong, Stella Blade, and the endless parades of incredible JRPGs are taking the world by storm. Movies, Godzilla -1, 8 Western blockbusters for breakfast. Anime is thriving like never before, and even K-dramas are out here flexing on Hollywood's style, predictable storytelling. Korea basically has its own Hollywood now, and it's eating up international markets like a snack. But hold on, my dear viewers, you know how it is. It's never all sunshine and rainbows. Before we start celebrating the East as the eternal guardians of quality entertainment, we have a problem, a big, ugly, corporate-shaped problem. See, some Japanese developers have started looking at the Western industry and thinking, maybe we should start pandering to a global audience. And my sweet summer children, that is a red flag so massive it could be used as a kaiju cape. Just take it in Final Fantasy as example. Naoki Hamaguchi, director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, recently dropped some wisdom nuggets in an interview that basically translated to, yeah, so we're designing games with a global audience in mind now, and we're making sure they go through intense ethical analysis so they don't offend anyone. Oh my god. Yes, because that's worked it out so well for the West, right? Nothing screams great game design like tiptoeing around every possible thing that might trigger some random person on Twitter who wasn't going to buy the game anyway. Listen, I get it. Companies want to make more money, expand their audience, appeal to international markets. fine. But when you start diluting your product, it's stripping away what made it so special to begin with and replacing it with safe, bland, sanitized nonsense to please people who don't even play the fucking game. That's how you lose your real audience. And here is the thing, Japanese games have always been internationally beloved. They never needed to be dumbed down or repackaged to appeal to a Western audience. People loved them because they were unapologetically Japanese. The culture, the storytelling, the art direction, it was different, unique, and had a soul. The second you start tweaking that formula to chase some mythical modern audience that doesn't even exist, you lose the magic that made people fall in love with your games in the first place. And we've already seen this happen in the West. Studios chase the trends, sacrifice quality, prioritize ideological messaging over fun, and what did they get? Financial ruins, fans abandoning ship. The once great giants of entertainment left begging for scraps while indies and Eastern studios thrive. If Japanese game studios start falling into the same trap, it's only a matter of time before we see the same decline. And you know what's even funnier? They don't need to cater to the West to sell their games. We're already buying them as they are. Nobody asked for them to change to begin with. Nobody demanded that Tifa be redesigned to appease Twitter activists who have never touched a controller. Nobody wanted Chun-Li to get nerfed into oblivion so she'd more realistic. These changes are being made to fool actual gamers. They are being made to please people who will never ever support the industry to begin with. So what's going to happen if this continues? It's simple. These studios will lose the audience they already have, the people who actually buy their games, and they will end up in the same sinking ship as their Western counterparts. It's the cycle of corporate stupidity. Take something beloved, change it to pander to an audience that doesn't care, alienate your real fans, watch your sales plummet, and then act shocked when the whole thing collapses. And don't forget to blame the gamers later. Listen, I get it. Companies want to grow. They want to make more money, but there is a difference between smart business decisions and self-sabotage. The Eastern entertainment industry has been thriving because it stayed true to itself. If they start following the West's footsteps, mark my words, we'll be watching the downfall of yet another great era of entertainment. So my dear beloved Japanese developers, from the bottom of my five-tailed heart, don't be like the West. Stick to what you do best. Keep making incredible games. Keep telling bold stories, and don't let some corporate think tank trick you into watering everything down for an audience that doesn't even exist. And for the rest of us, well, buckle up, boys. If they don't listen, we might have to start learning real Chinese for our future gaming needs. I'm just saying here, that special kinds of corporate cowardice that result in decisions so bizarre, so counterintuitive, that you have to wonder, are these people even playing their own fucking games, or are they just throwing darts at a board that says, Western Trader likes this, and Japan likes money, and hoping for the best? Spoiler, they are absolutely throwing darts and missing. Let's talk specifics. First, there was the Great Tifa redesign scandal. Square Enix decided that the iconic, beloved, irreplaceable bombshell of Final Fantasy needed a little, let's call it, sanitization because apparently they thought the best way to honor one of the game's most recognizable female leads was to turn her into a less spicy version of herself, just in case somebody on social media had a meltdown over pixels being too powerful. And then we got Street Fighter 6. Oh, Street Fighter, the game where half the point is watching fighters in over-the-top dramatic battles looking cool as hell, and yet somehow somebody thought, what would really improve Chun-Li? Less style, less appeal, less of everything that made her an icon. It's like taking a Ferrari and thinking, what would really elevate this? Removing the engine and making it look more relatable. But now let's just be clear for a second here, okay? No one is saying that a character has to be sexualized to be great. Oh, look at me again explaining why the grass is green once more. That's not the argument here. The argument is that when you take away what made a character visually striking in the first place, you also strip away that appeal that made people care about them to begin with. Chun-Li and Tifa, these characters weren't just hot, they were legendary because they had an undeniable presence. Guess what? That presence included looking incredible. You wouldn't buy a Lamborghini and then complain that it's too flashy, right? But apparently, the logic doesn't apply to gaming anymore. And why does this keep happening, Mizuki? Oh, you are the Nomada viewer because you're smart. It's the same old story. Game devs are so desperate to avoid the wrath of the new Herod soy latte drinking, never even played the game critics on Twitter that they preemptively censor themselves. Oh no, what if someone writes an angry article? What if Kotaku gets mad at us? Who cares? These people do not buy your games. They do not care about your games. Their entire identity is based on being professionally outraged. Stop making changes to appease them, because the second your game isn't relevant anymore, they will move on to the next thing to destroy. Meanwhile, you are alienating the actual audience, the people who have been there since the beginning. The ones who buy the special editions, who cosplay the characters, who keep your franchise alive, and then you act all surprised when your sales drop? My guy, you did this to yourself. You took something people loved and decided, nah, let's make it less cool. That is not a winning strategy. And here is the real housebreaker. Japan is starting to fall for it too. The one bastion of sanity in this gaming world. The country that used it to unapologetically make their games their way is now getting spooked into adapting for a global audience. And by global audience, I mean a handful of self-righteous Twitter warriors who couldn't tell you the difference between a PS5 and a toaster. Square Enix is already wading in these murky waters, and you hate to see it. They have franchises like Final Fantasy, Nier, Kingdom Hearts, all of which are beloved because they are unapologetically Japanese. Their style, their storytelling, their world building, that's what makes them sell. And yet, some boardroom geniuses are sitting there thinking, but what if we made it more Western? Oh, you mean like Marvel's Avengers? The game that flopped so hard it made Cyberpunk 2077 look like a smooth launch. Or maybe Forspoken, which was so painfully out of touch that it shut down an entire studio. Yeah, great plan, guys. Real cutting-edge business acumen here. And here is a radical idea. Maybe, just maybe, Japan should keep doing what Japan does best. Because, shocker, when you make a Japanese game with a Japanese identity, people love it. Elden Ring, massive success. Persona 5, cultural phenomenon. Resident Evil 4 Remake, instant classic. These games don't try to pander, they don't water themselves down. They know exactly what they are, and they own it. Japanese RPGs don't need to be westernized, they are their own thing. Japanese action games don't need to copy Call of Duty, they have their own legacy. You don't need to turn every protagonist into a sarcastic, TikTok-obsessed, walking Twitter thread. We already have those here, you do not need more. But before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank you all my patrons that support my work here on YouTube, and especially my Three-Tailed Fox tier members Heath Rowell and Fenny Sylvy for the incredible support to my work. You guys are amazing. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon, link is in the description below. If Japanese developers continue down this path, they are going to end up exactly where Western studios are now, floundering, failing, and wondering why nobody likes their games anymore. And trust me, they will notice when their core audience, the people who have supported them for decades, start looking elsewhere. And that's the real irony. Western gaming went through this entire let's sanitize everything phase, and now they are backtracking because they realized, oh wait, that doesn't work. Meanwhile, Japan's like, let's try that. No, 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 please, no. Do not copy the mistakes of the West. The West is already regretting them. And trust me, this industry is not running out of stupid decisions anytime soon. And I'll be here to call them out. Like, comment, bells, and subscribe. Bye!